So the next thing they're talking about is passion. And the Lily card is talking about passion. I always love this card. I think the first time someone gave me a reading and the Lily card came out, and it was talking about a significant other and speaking about passion in that way. But it's right underneath the Sun card. So it's talking about the abundance of blessings to overwhelm you. And then, but it's talking about passion. So it's talking about bringing to you abundance and then touching, the places that are your passion inside. So the things that you've already wanted, that's the abundance that's coming. They're being very clear about that. I love when they're this clear. So there's no guessing. So it's like if you're the part of the collective that they're talking about here, if this is the message that it is speaking to you, which that means it is, this message is for you, then it's like those things that you've been waiting for, they're now coming, and they're going to come and overwhelm you. But even though it's overwhelming, like, standing in the sun for too long and you feel like it's too much, you will already see where to place yourself and place your life so that the pieces, or the game pieces of your life, are already in the right place. So you just have to sit there and take the abundance upon you. I love that. All right, so, and then the next card is the Star card. And the Stars card, I love the card because it's always, to me, speaking about alignment, or how the stars are lined up. You were born at exactly the right time, in the right place, but the stars are lined up right now, exactly right for you, because where you were born and because it's time. So they're saying it's not an accident. This is not a happenstance. This isn't just a lucky fluke. This was always coming anyway. You're just in your time of abundance. You're in your time to take mainstream during the day blessing, but to take the passive moon blessing too. And both times, in the sun, in the rising of the sun and the setting of the sun, both times, when there is light and when there is no light, in both times. And then the last card is the Whip card. That's the number 11 card. And the Whip, right now, particularly what they're saying is that it's going to be quick. Quick snap in this there. There's no hesitation in this unfolding. So it's a beautiful season. And they're talking right now and saying that this is the start of the season. August is the start of this blessing abundance season. It's not just for this 1 month, but this is the start. So there was a lot of karmic work that was being done in the beginning of the year, in those first 6-7 months of a lot of energy going on, a lot of solar energy, a lot of planetary energy, a lot of moon energy, a whole bunch of shifting. And it's all the time when I would go to meditate about it, it would always be like I'd close my eyes and it's like a busy office, and there was just all of this kind of scurrying around and paperwork being done and everything, as the closing down of a chapter in a book was happening, and this start for the new is coming. That first part of the year is about the closing down of the last chapter of the last book, and now it's time to move into the new energy, but now it's coming very quickly. And but as seers, as having that energy, or that eye to see, that third, the third eye, to be able to visualize that, we'll be able to put ourselves in a proper place to be able to accept that blessing. All right, let's get some more messages. It's a nice way to start a Monday, I will tell you that for sure. It's nice to know what we have coming. This card came up the other day too. It's talking about coming together. This is talking about, the people that have been, separated from each other, or, families that haven't had, maybe the best togetherness or anything or something like that. Or if you've, been away from your partner and there hasn't been, that closeness or togetherness that you would like, that there's a coming together happening, for all the ones who belong together, that there's a coming together. And that is the first card, and I'm putting that right, in that spot where they're telling me, right by the sun and the lily. So they're talking about, that passion, love. This is loved ones. This is family. This is significant others. There's a coming together. So that's part of the abundance, and that's part of the passion. Okay, next card. Release. So that's by the seer and the stars, and they're talking about releasing, kind of your idea and control over what you think everything should turn out like. So releasing that and allowing what is already foretold or already laid out in the stars for you to unfold and to happen. So instead of getting to that place where you're energetically stuck because you think things should unfold a certain way. And I was just talking to my daughter about, when something happens and it doesn't happen exactly like you think it would. So in my imagination, I had a scene about how the month of July and August would happen. And July and August were just fine and worked out just fine. But in my mind, it was supposed to happen a certain way. Sometimes we can get too locked up in that. And we just need to allow it to unfold and trust, that the universe understands what our order is, and that, the path or the contract of our journey is already laid out, that we signed it already. And just because we don't remember exactly what we signed, that it'll still be okay. To release and allow, not to hold it and keep it so in such tight control. Okay, third card. Change your focus. So that's by the moon and by the whip card. And sometimes, and this goes right along with the other card about release, when things are, it's time for something to come together, we kind of have to let it fall into place. So just because that you belong together with someone, or you would like your family to come back together in a certain way, and that that's going to unfold and it's going to happen, doesn't mean you should say anything or be pushy about it or any of that stuff. It's just let it fall into place. Change your focus from right now and when it has to happen and that panicky anxiety energy. Change your focus and just think about, how nicely everything falls out. And if we leave our hands off of it and we just are patient and kind, that things work out a lot better. And worrying has never made anything unfold faster or more beautifully. So it's like if we just leave it alone, we'll see, exactly what kind of beauty Spirit has for us, and how beautiful it is when we allow Holy Spirit to just operate in our life fully, rather than us trying to constantly pray or dictate. Some people are praying, but it really has turned into a dictatorship of telling God exactly how you want it to unfold. Sometimes we just need to release and change the focus. All right. Angel of Balance. So when you find yourself having trouble changing your focus or releasing, the Angel of Balance will be right there to help you. I'd love that. Okay, let's get some animal energy now. Stag spirit, take the lead. So, sometimes when we're waiting for things to come together and for that abundance, that shower of abundance to come, and we can see it, and we've put everything that we're supposed to put in place. It's like you've taken the lead where you're supposed to. Then there comes a time, after that to just let it go. So it's already talked to us about, what we